If you are on a fragrance-free journey, this video is going to be a treasure trove for you. We are going through all of the different fragrance-free products I have been trying for the past while now and my thoughts on them. There are some that surprised me how much I loved them. In fact, they ended up performing better than products I had tried for years and loved that have fragrance in them. So that was shocking and really exciting. So let's dive in. Let's start with body care because I think that is the natural first category. And if you're curious of my story of why I was using fragrance-free products for a while, and all of that, I'll share that at the very end and give an update for those of you that have been following along in the journey of where I'm at now, what was causing the eyelid dermatitis flare-up I was having, and all that stuff. Okay, first up is this body wash. This is from Aveeno. It is their Skin Relief Body Wash. This is actually one that I've used for maybe a decade now. So I was already using this and absolutely loving it. It's for itchy, dry, sensitive skin. I am someone that gets those bumps and redness all on my arms. Sometimes it's in reaction to fragrance. Other times it's in reaction to, I'm realizing I'm allergic to some sunscreens. And so that has really affected my skin, especially when I'm wearing those. So now I've kind of honed it down, but nonetheless, this has been incredible at calming that down. Also helps with itchy, like I'll get itchy legs from time to time. I love this stuff so much. So I use this on my kids as well, by the way. They sell like a big one with a big pump and that's usually what I get. This is just the one I currently have. Next up, this one I don't think is written as fragrance free, but I was kind of looking through and I'm not a dermatologist. I'm not someone, so some of you guys will dive a little deeper than maybe I would, but this one has worked great for me and it seems to be generally fragrance free or maybe free of whatever. So this is from Gillette Venus. This is their shave oil. I use this to shave my legs. I absolutely love it. It doesn't seem to flare up any reactions or anything like that in me. So this has been great. I'm hopeful that more brands will come out with more fragrance free shaving options because I feel like it's right there. Like I'm loving shaving oils, but there are not a lot of options in the fragrance-free world for that. Another product I fell in love with is from Prequel. This is their Skin Barrier Cream. It's specifically called the Barrier Therapy Skin Protectant Cream. Fragrance-free, Eczema Association accepted, etc., psoriasis. It is just really, really easy to blend onto the skin. We're gonna talk about another cream next that has been my number one, but it is harder to blend into the skin. And so on the days that I'm wanting to move quicker, I've been grabbing this. And I feel like for everyday use, this is incredible. So that's what it looks like. You can see just how quickly it blends in. It's more of a lighter, well, it's still creamy and thick. I shouldn't say lighter. It's just lighter than the next one we're gonna talk about, but it's very, very moisturizing. Next up is the thing I have used on my face as well as my body for the past few months as my moisturizer. It is this guy right here, the Vanicream Moisturizing Cream. I mean, this is what any dermatologist is gonna tell you. Like if you are having a flare up or anything like that, you can trust in this generally. And I, like I said, have been using this as my face moisturizer from here all the way down to my feet. And it's been amazing. They sell smaller ones like squeezy tubes I was traveling with. That worked great. They have a really small one as like a moisturizer to have in your purse for your hands, for your face, whatever. But it is thicker. Let me show you the texture of it. It takes a little bit longer to blend in than say the Prequel one, but it does blend in and I do think this is even more moisturizing. So I've actually loved this consistency as a facial moisturizer. Like I said, I'm wearing it under my makeup today as well. I put it on morning and night and I just think it's incredible. And this brand is specifically made, it's free of dyes, fragrance, masking fragrance, lanolin, parabens, and formaldehyde releasers. It's gluten-free, accepted by the National Eczema. Like it kind of covers every base you may be looking to cover. And so this is a brand, I'm gonna talk about a couple other products from it, that was kind of my first line of defense when things were going haywire with my skin. And it worked great. So we're gonna move away from body care and we're gonna do hair care at the end. The best finds I found were in the fragrance-free hair care category. So if you're into that, I will also have timestamps. So if you wanna skip ahead to the hair care, you can. Let's talk about skincare, SPF, etc. Cleansers. The product that I hadn't tried that surprised me so much and I've already repurchased is from Prequel. This is their cleansing oil. It's called specifically their Pre-Cleanse Cleansing Oil. It has Sika oil, rice bran oil, linoleic acid. So if you are going through a time where you are wearing makeup, or maybe you're like, for me, there was 4 to 6 weeks where I was wearing no makeup, just like moisturizer and sunscreen on my face specifically. This removes all of the sunscreen, the moisturizer, makeup really well. And so I'm still continuing to use it now that I'm dabbling in makeup again. And I absolutely love it. I do this as a double cleanse though. I'll do this first. You put it on dry hands, on a dry face. It's weird if you've never done it. And put it on gently and it kind of breaks it all down. You rinse it off. Then I go in with a cleanser. So that's why they call it a double cleanse for those that maybe aren't familiar. Now the cleanser, there are two that I have been using the most, kind of back and forth. One of them is the Vanicream cleanser. I love this stuff. Again, I've traveled with this. It just works so well. It feels so similar to the other ones I'd already loved from like La Roche-Posay, and those I probably can use too. I'm pretty sure those are fragrance free, and I love those as well. But in this period of time, these were the ones I was using. And then the La Roche-Posay Dermo cleanser. This is much harder to find. So I found it at Ulta, I think. But it was one that in my research was highly recommended, and it has worked great. This is actually just the one I have in my shower. I have this one at my sink, and so I'm using both in tandem, and they both work really well. I honestly don't know that I could even tell you a difference between these two. This one is maybe a little bit of a thinner consistency, but not really. I mean, they just work as a cleanser. None of them are foaming or anything like that. So highly recommend those. Basically, my skincare routine has been my double cleanse, right? And then a moisturizer, that's pretty much it. SPF during the day. And then I have also dabbled in a hydrating serum because my skin was getting dry through all of this. So this is the Prequel Multi-Quench Hydrating Serum. I love this stuff so much. This is the second one. I just like that it's, let me just show you the consistency. It's serum-like, but it feels really nice on the skin. It feels a little bit hydrating. And I just put this on my skin after I've cleansed it, and then I put on my moisturizer. It's been great. I have been pairing it with my red light therapy mask. I can link the one I use below. I really like. I did a lot of research before picking which one I wanted to try. And so I've been using that the past few weeks and really enjoying it. And I feel like that's another way I can help my skin without overloading it with a lot of products, as I have been having flare-ups. So anyway, I really, really recommend this. I love this as a wonderful hydrating serum. I feel like in the skincare realm, like I'm talking about a handful of products here that I've tried, you can find a lot of skincare that's fragrance-free. Like it's not that difficult to find. But when you're talking about fragrance-free and really paring back because you are having reactions to stuff, that's kind of the realm that I was in. And so keep that in mind. Within my skincare routine, I've been using moisturizer. I would say most of the time I was using the Vanicream, but I also have really been enjoying this from The Ordinary. It's their natural moisturizing factor. People love this stuff, and I do too. It's a really nice consistency, really great ingredients. I feel like it's really effective at hydrating the skin. You can use it morning and night, underneath makeup if you want. I mean, I just really think it is an incredible formula. You know, as I'm moving forward, and like I said, I'll tell you the whole story at the end of the video for those interested. But as I'm moving back toward, you know, not having to use fragrance-free in everything, and even just trying other products in the skincare world, this is one that I think is gonna just be a staple in as a moisturizer because I really, really like it. And it's very inexpensive, which is amazing. I would say as a general rule, all of these are in the affordable price range. There might be a handful of these sunscreens I might talk about, but most of these are in a more affordable price range. Another moisturizer I liked, but when it's gone, I'm probably not gonna repurchase, is this Vanicream one. It's specifically for the face. It's got some hyaluronic acid and ceramides. There's nothing wrong with this. It's just that I really like this one better and my skin is tolerating this. And then when I wanted a thicker cream, I was going for this. But if you like a lighter moisturizer, this one is lovely. And again, it's gonna have more of those skincare things built into it, like hyaluronic acid and ceramides, versus just using this. Does that make sense? So I guess I shouldn't say I would never buy it again, because honestly, I mean, I probably would. I just don't really need it right now. One thing that I wish, it's a product I would shout from the rooftops that everyone should have. for 16,000 different reasons is this one. This one's from La Roche-Posay. It is the Cicaplast Balm B5+. This is that unicorn product that works on everything and everyone. It works on infants, it works on grown people, kids, whatever. You can put it anywhere. I think it says not to use it around your eyes, but I was using it around my eyes and it was helping with the healing so much. Maybe you're not supposed to, okay? Don't do as I do, do as, you know what I'm saying. Don't take my advice when it comes to that. But when I was having dermatitis around my mouth, perioral dermatitis, this was a godsend. I got a prescription from a dermatologist plus this. Those two in tandem were incredible. This is what I'm using if I've got cracked hands, dry skin patches, redness, irritation, like all of that. This is an amazing cream for it. It's dimethicone based, and you can even use it as a diaper rash cream. Like for a severe case, because I mean, it's a little expensive to be using this little tube for diaper rash, but if it was like severe and you were really needing to knock it out, I think this would be great. But yeah, it definitely leaves a little white cast for a sec and then it blends in and I love it. I tell everyone I know about this product. Like you should just have this for when you need it. Okay, let's talk SPF because I have 4 different ones for sensitive skin, fragrance-free, etc. that I have been using. One of them is the Vanicream one. I didn't even know this was sold. I hadn't seen it in store, but my dermatologist told me about it. It's great. I used it quite a bit. It's zinc oxide, 19.5%. So it's gonna have a little white cast at first. I would say this blends in pretty quickly. I mean, especially compared to some I've tried that are like a thick paste. This actually was quite pleasant. And again, it's gonna be free of dyes, fragrance, masking fragrance, formaldehyde released, all those if that's something you're looking for extremely sensitive skin. Another one I got was actually from that same line I love from La Roche-Posay. It's basically the SPF version of that. So this is SPF 50. Again, it's got all of those amazing ingredients in it that I love. And the other thing, it just also is an SPF. Now, this one is both chemical and mineral. So this is one I have to use sparingly because I'm realizing my skin's been reacting to the chemical filters, which sucks. But this is what it looks like. Again, a little bit of a white cast, but it blends in eventually. I use this underneath makeup as well, and it worked fine. I just usually let it sit on my skin for a few minutes before going in. Now, my 2 favorites that I discovered, and I'm already like halfway through both of these, which is crazy, but I've been using them so much. This product from Elta MD, their tinted face sunscreen. So this is a physical one. It's mineral, if you will. It's titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. I love this stuff so much. This is what I was using just on my face as the only thing on my face. While we were on vacation, we were in the beach, I was reapplying with this. I just threw it in my beach bag. It has this tint to it, but it blends in so ticely. I really love this stuff. It makes your skin look just slightly better than it is. It's got a little coverage, not a lot, but a little bit of coverage. I feel like it just kind of makes your skin look nice, or at least nicer than it was before you put it on. And I was able to reapply without a mirror, just especially to my nose and that area where I know it rubs off easily, etc. This has just like so quickly become my favorite sunscreen for my face. And so I want to shout from the rooftops again how much I love this. But another one I've really enjoyed, and it's actually the one I'm wearing today under my makeup. Yeah, I put on Vanicream and then I put this on. It's the Elta MD UV Skin Recovery. So this is more of like a green sunscreen, if you will. Doesn't end up looking green once you blend it in, of course. It doesn't give you like a green tint to your face or anything like that, but it just looks nice on the skin. I do feel like the redness on my skin in the cheek area especially and my nose is so much better since using this pretty regularly. There were a few weeks in there where I was only using this and I absolutely love it. Especially, it was specifically saying like, if you just had a procedure done on your face, this is really good for that. If you've got very, very sensitive skin, this is really good for that too. But either way, I think a lot of people would like it, especially if redness is one of your primary concerns, which of course is only exacerbated by the sun, right? So it's an awesome product. But that is definitely a pricier brand. Like, there's no way around it. These are way pricier. This Vanicream and Elta MD were 2 of the brands that my dermatologist recommends highly. Let's talk hair care. I have been using the Vanicream shampoo and conditioner. This was when I was really trying to figure out what was causing my issues. So I basically wiped everything. I took all of my products out and just put in the few things I was gonna use for a while. So this has been great. I'm about halfway through. These are not like spectacular shampoos and conditioners, okay? They're gonna do the job, but they're not something that I'm like dying to repurchase. In fact, this other brand I'm gonna talk about, their shampoo and conditioner is so much better. So this is great in a pinch when you're like trying to figure things out or if you're extremely sensitive, but there's better out there. Just stay with me. So this brand I discovered is called Scene, and specifically their blowout cream right here. Okay, my hair is second day hair, so it's not as like nice, I feel like, as it looked yesterday. But my hair, when I'm doing it like blow dried and like straightened or whatever with hot tools, or when I'm doing it more like my natural wave, curl, etc., this has been the single best product I have ever discovered for my hair when it comes to a leave-in, where I just put some on my hands, I put it through my hair, and whether I'm blow drying it or I'm diffusing it with like my natural texture, my hair looks better than it's ever looked. And I'm like, this is just incredible. And it also kind of detangles. So when I'm using products like this that aren't quite as moisturizing and stuff as I'm wanting them to be, this kind of fills in that gap. This is something I will repurchase. This is the fragrance-free version. Be careful. This brand does have fragrance versions of things. So make sure that whatever you're buying the fragrance-free one, if that's what you're looking for. They do have ones with scents though, that as I dabble back into fragrance, if I do, I might consider that, but the proof is in the pudding. Like, this works so well. Oh my gosh. Another product from that brand that blew me away is their Frizz Treatment Repair Mask. Again, this is the fragrance-free one specifically. This I traveled with. I squirted some like in a little travel container, because instead of using the conditioner like this, I could just use this as my conditioner, and it just, wow. Tangles come right out. It's so smooth. It's hydrated. Again, it's just, these are like high performance products. And the fact that they have a fragrance-free version that works so well is incredible. Oh my gosh. So I've also tried this brand's shampoo and conditioner. I bought like a travel size of them, used them up on our most recent trip. Absolutely loved them. They are much better than the Vanna Cream. If you're looking for a fragrance-free option, I would opt for those. Now, they are a little more expensive. So, you know, if you're getting anything from this brand though, make it these two products here. So I tried a couple of other fragrance-free hair care products that I did not love. So first up is the Kristen S Dry Shampoo Powder. This works in a pinch, but when I'm comparing it to like the K18 one that I love or other ones I've tried, it just is a little bit more finicky to work with. It can leave a white cast, which of course most do. And it just doesn't quite get it as oil removed as I typically want. And so I'm gonna try to use this up. I don't think it's like the worst thing I've ever tried, but it's definitely not a favorite. And then another one I tried is from 4 Reasons. This is another brand that had a lot of fragrance-free stuff. It's a fragrance-free extra strong finishing spray. It's also good for a sensitive scalp, so that's something to consider. This wasn't like horrendous. It's just that I felt like it made my hair a little sticky, and I don't like that. I'm pretty picky with hairspray. I know what I like. I actually don't mind if the hair has a little crunch to it. I don't mind that at all, but I don't like it to feel sticky. Now, I feel like after 10 minutes after spraying this on, it was no longer sticky. So it really is just when you're applying it that it bothers me. So it works, okay, but it's just not like the best one I've ever used. So next hair care product, I enjoyed the Honest one. I ended up buying this other one to use on the girls. This is the Sensitive Conditioning Detangler. It's fragrance free. It works really well. You know, I feel like a lot of detanglers work, and I use detanglers both on my hair and on my girls' hairs. This one was really good. I would recommend it. I would buy it again. I mean, I have. I hope that was helpful. I want to chat with you guys the remainder of the video about how I got here. Like, what in the world? I've been reviewing beauty products, hair care products, body care, fragrance full for 13 years now. And now suddenly I'm doing fragrance-free stuff. I'm not doing fragrance-free forever. In fact, I've already dipped my toe in stuff with fragrance again. But I want to tell my kind of whole story for those that are either new or you just want to hear it all. For those curious. So if you're gonna leave now because you don't want to hear, I hope you subscribe. I do beauty content here. I do a lot of vlogs, and there's beauty content weaved within. We just hang out together. So if we're vibing together, check out some of my videos, see if we continue to vibe. I hope you subscribe and watch more of my videos. Okay, for those that are wanting to stick around, my buddies. Okay, let me start back at the beginning, because I fear that the storyline has gotten weird, because sometimes I'll upload vlogs in a different order than I lived it. Does that make sense? Just based on when things need to go live. And so basically at the end of January, I suddenly started having really itchy skin around my eyes, especially on the lower part of my eyes, but also up here, to the point where it was like affecting my life all day long. And, you know, for a while I just thought, oh, that's weird. I had just tried what's that really expensive vitamin C serum? Oh, you know the one, SkinCeuticals. I had gotten a thing. I was like, you know what? I want to try that. I always use the same vitamin C serums that I love. I want to try this one that is like the most famous, very, very expensive. So I bought it. I tried it once and it happened shortly after that. Now, that's not something I put right on my under eyes as far as I remember, but undoubtedly it got near it. You know what I mean? And then I went about my day, and if I'm putting makeup on top, it's probably spreading around. So that is my guess as to what started all of this. But as I only used that maybe twice, once, maybe twice. And then eventually this started happening. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, maybe that was it. But then it just never went away. So I stopped using that. And even a month later, my skin was still so itchy around my eyes. And so I'm like, well, maybe it's a makeup I'm using. I had already pulled back on skincare and I was just using like a basic moisturizer. By then, I think I was already using Vanicream stuff and it was still bothering me. But I was still putting on makeup here and there, you know, like a couple days a week. So I'm like, well, maybe it's the makeup. So I'm doing all the, you know, trust me, I have done more research on ingredients and everything. So I was like, okay, well, it could be fragrance. Like I know the rest of my body skin is kind of sensitive to that. So I start making appointments. So I first went to my primary care doctor. He was like, maybe it's blepharitis. He wasn't totally convinced. It wasn't. But he prescribed just to put a little cortisone around the eyes. You're not supposed to use it much, like maybe max a week, because it can cause long-term problems. So you have to be really, really careful with cortisone around the eyes. I definitely know that. Let me coffee sip, hold on. So I did that for a bit. It definitely helped, of course, but it came back. It just basically, you know, the second I stopped using cortisone, the itching came back. And it eventually wasn't just itching. It was obviously like redness, dry skin, like all of the things that would come with that. Eyelid dermatitis. So finally then I go to a dermatologist and I had to wait a few weeks for the appointment, etc. So I finally get in and she's like, okay, I think it's just dermatitis. I think it's contact dermatitis. I think it's something that you're applying or have come in contact with that's doing it. I don't think it's something you're reacting to in the air, because we also were like, maybe it's mold in the air. Maybe, so we had everything checked. We had our HVAC, the duct worked clean. We replaced every filter. We put air purifiers in. I got a new humidifier, took out an old humidifier. Like I was doing all the things. Okay. I thought there were so many times I thought I figured it out and I didn't. We're now, 8 weeks into this and I finally go to an allergist and she does like the skin prick test, which is the one, was it on my arm? Why can't I remember? No, I think that was on my back. Where they do it just in office. Maybe it was on my arm. It's crazy that I can't remember. Okay. So that was the initial one where they just wait 20 minutes and see what you react to. And for that one, I reacted to, things I kind of expected, like, the things I'm allergic to seasonally, grasses and things like that. I was also mildly allergic to dogs. So I thought like I have a dog, like maybe that's it, but it's not. I'm sensitive to it, I guess, but it's not what was causing this. Anyway, all of that to say, I eventually did the next level of allergy testing, which is like doing the actual testing on your back where like you leave it on for like 72 hours. So it's way more involved. I had to keep coming back into the office like 48 hours and 72 hours later for them to remove the things and to check them again. And I did react to a couple of things, one of them being fragrance mix number 1, which is helpful, but also if you've ever like learned you're allergic to fragrance in one way, it's also not helpful because it can go by like thousands of different names, all the different things that are in fragrance mix number 1. And a lot of times they don't even have to put on the ingredient label exactly what. So long story short, I thought, okay, well then I'll just go fragrance free. Maybe that's it. Maybe that is the smoking gun. Well, so I do that and it still didn't quite get rid of it, even using only fragrance free stuff. So doing more research, I realized that there's a chance that whatever set it off at the beginning, let's say it was that vitamin C serum, because I was still continually wearing makeup intermittently and really just never letting my skin have multiple weeks to just rest with nothing but like maybe a moisturizer on it. Perhaps that was contributing to the problem. It wasn't a specific product I was using at this point. It was just that my eyelids were so overly sensitized because of all of this that I hadn't given them the time to properly, completely calm the dermatitis down. So I went, I think, 5 weeks with no makeup, no skincare. Like I said, just face wash and this. And of course, within like a week, it was totally cleared up. It didn't itch anymore. And then, and there were a few times in this period where I did go a week or two without it, and it would clear up. But then after 2 weeks, I'd go back into makeup and it would flare back up again. So far, we are like 3 weeks into wearing makeup intermittently again. And I'm kind of picky about what makeup I'm using right now as well. And it seems to be okay. However, I'm also using something they prescribed, which is pimecrolimus, which I think is like the gentler version of tacrolimus, if you've ever, which they said is okay to use around the eyes, you know, not get it right in the eyes, but around. So I've been using that every night. So I don't know if like that's what's keeping it at bay or not. But for now, that's just what I'm doing as I slowly reintroduce things into my life. And I've been using some fragrance things like in my hair just because that doesn't seem to bother it. It's just been an interesting journey. And I will say, I think I will try to stick to fragrance-free stuff around my eyes, like concealers. I don't know that there's a lot of fragrance in concealers, but you never know. So that's definitely something. I definitely am going to stay away from fragrance in eyeshadows. I think about the Too Faced eyeshadows that I like a lot. I haven't used those in a long time, but like those definitely have a fragrance to them. So I want to look into that. I just haven't been wearing eyeshadow since going back to it. I just, you know, it's an easy thing for me to skip. But yeah, so that's the journey. I've kind of got it figured out that perhaps it was the vitamin C that started it and it just needed to calm down. And perhaps I should also be choosy about fragrance, especially around my eyelids. But yeah, so that's why you hear me say like I'm not fragrance free exclusively, like I'm dipping my toe back in, because I'm not. But we'll see where the next year takes me and all that kind of stuff. But there's the whole story for anyone that wanted to hear it beginning to end and kind of the mystery solved, kind of. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. This ended up being a way longer video than I ever anticipated, but I hope you enjoyed. Again, I hope you'll subscribe if you have not yet. It just makes my videos easier to find in your feed. If you liked this video, I think you will like this one as well. Watch this one next, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.